All right, guys. Our next guest is the man of the hour. If you go on his Twitter, his bio says you can become anything. Just believe in yourself. And man, what a career he's had. He is just coming off Bellator 170, where he retired on a historic, legendary career. He is one of the biggest names in the sport. Tito Ortiz, welcome to Submission Radio. It's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you very, very much, man. It's finally nice to get all the stress out of my body, man. After 14-week camp, it was a tough one, and it went kind of how I expected it to go. It was just like literally training. Training was my fight. It was funny because right before I walked out, I just thought in my head, it's just another day of training, just another day of training. And I walked in, and Chael did everything I thought he was going to do. Everything I defended. It was great, man. It was a great night. Hard work does pay off.
We can only imagine. Well, talk to us about the night. I mean, all we saw was whatever was on TV and then the press conference. What was that night like? What did you do to go out and sort of celebrate?
I just kind of had to just take a step back and just kind of put it all in my mind. I still don't have really realized exactly what happened. I think more than anything, it was just I wanted to go in, I want to perform the best I possibly could and leave it all out there. And to think that 14 weeks only lasted 2 minutes and 5 seconds, it just makes you frustrated because I wanted it to be a little longer. I wanted to be able to elbow Chael in the face a little more. But once he gave my back, it was just, or gave his back, I could not take the choke. And believe me, I was squeezing him so hard, people saw how purple his face was. I was trying to make him go unconscious, but McCarthy had to rip me off.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously, the commission not going to pursue that, even though you held on the choke a little bit long. We saw online that you mentioned that, we're just in the heat of the moment. But how about this? This event is a big success. It's the third most watched Bellator broadcast in history. The main event itself averaged 1.85 million viewers, making it the fourth most watched fight in the company history. And Tito, on Saturday, you were the second most searched topic of the day on Google, with more than 200,000 searches, behind only the women matches, which, we know what people are looking for with those women matches. So,
yeah.
I mean, how does that feel? That's a crazy metric to go along with the fact that you just had a legendary finish to a crazy career.
I was very, very happy the way it all ended and the way I was presented. And like I say, the hard work pays off. And with my son there, I think there's a little more extra pressure. Have my son there, and when we walk down, I look at him and I see tears rolling down his face, and he wasn't sure. And I look down at the son. I promise you, I'm gonna get my hand raised. He goes, "Okay, Dad, go out there kick butt." And it was just everything was something that was meant to be. Everything. I think in my whole life, everything has been meant to be. If I would have beat Liam Gary last year, I probably wouldn't be in the same shoes and enjoy the same way of retiring the way I did on Saturday night. But I was ready. I was wasn't going to let anything stop the fight on my side. Chael had me in a little bit of a choke and with the guillotine for a second, but it was maybe a second. But I just said relax, and if I push on his elbow, I could feel my head sliding out, and sure enough, boop, it slid out. And that half-guard pass is something that we worked a lot, me and Scott Carr and Rafael Davis. BJ Penn actually went over just one day. We went over it, and he said, this works no matter what to get the mount. And I've always been a person that liked the mount because guys usually push me off. Well, I secured the mount so much during camp with Scott Carr and Rafael Davis that they're bigger than Chael. I was able to secure them. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And just a dangerous spot of me getting in my elbows. I think I touched Chael with two small elbows, and he said he felt them. And if I had an opportunity to hit him with more elbows, I think it would have been a little more bloodier. But he gave his back, and I was dry. There was always no sweat on me, and I was strong as hell. And I squeezed like an anaconda, man. This is like that lion that got to eat for the first time, and had the gazelle by the neck and wasn't going to let go. And that's what was in my mind. I was squeezing but dear life. And I'm super strong right now. I mean, when you deadlift 415 for 10s with no problem, and all the ab work I've done, all the bench pressing, when benching 395 for fours. I mean, I've got really strong for this fight because I knew that strength was going to come to a factor to defend the shot on Chael. But I was the only one to get the first punch. I was the one to get the first takedown. I ended up having to defend the guillotine. I had to defend the neck crank. The neck crank he got me on is really what made me sore. I mean, I have a lot of problems with my neck right now because of it. I may have to get surgery. I'm not sure.
Wow.
I gotta get an MRI in the morning, but I've been having some numbness going down my left arm. That never happened before. But that first neck crank he caught me in, it wasn't a choke. I think it was more of just a strain, and he kind of pulled my head forward, and that was, I think that was the thing that kind of made me move quicker. I mean, when he went to the guillotine, I was happy because that's what we've been defending the whole time. And during camp, I'd had a little problems trying to defend it. And in this one, I was able to kind of suck it up, relax myself, and just have the jiu-jitsu martial arts side of it, just relaxing in the position and just wait for his grip to get a little more weaker. And pop, my head comes out, and I finish it.
I'm wondering, Tito, obviously this is a huge moment. Have you had a chance to rewatch it and sort of relive that moment yet?
Only once. I think on Sunday when I got home, my three boys are here with me because my youngest, Jesse and Journey, are 7. I wait until I get home and I watch it with them so they understand that Dad's okay no matter what. But I got to watch it once, and it just seems surreal, man. It was like a movie. It was just like, I don't know, man. I just look at it and I'm thankful. Hard work pays off. I watched the fight, and it was everything that I went through during camp. The passing position, getting the mount position, throwing an elbow, him returning his back. And as Scott Carr's saying, as soon as his palm hits the floor, you got to go for the choke. And I automatically did that. And I'm another person known to go for rear naked chokes, but I had an opportunity to choke him out and finish it quick. So why not get it done quick and call it a day? Especially after that little neck crank he got me. I don't want a chance of something serious happening to me. So I probably should have let it go and had ground and pound a little more. But like I say, no reason to give one great position for maybe position.
I have to ask this, Tito, because as you would know, a lot of people on social media and a lot of people on the internet, they were saying things about how there was sort of accusations that the fight was fixed and things like that. I just want to know, like, what your thoughts are on that. Obviously, you're coming off this big win, but how did you sort of react to that? And I also wanted to ask you specifically because a lot of people are saying, there were moments where Tito was tapping on the ground and it looked like he was giving Chael Sonnen some kind of cues. And I wanted to give you a chance to sort of explain. Do you remember that in the fight? Do you remember what was going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, I know exactly going through my mind. It was to defend the choke and not get taken down, not to let him have my back. For people to say the fight was fixed, it's just ridiculous. Are you kidding me right now? I'm going to give 14 weeks of my life. I'm going to miss out on a Thanksgiving, miss out on a Christmas, miss out on a New Year's to have a fixed fight. I've never been a part of that. I want to do a fixed fight. I'd be doing WWE. For people to say that is just very disrespectful. For any fighters to say that, that's disrespectful, especially fighters that I've helped out through their career. It's a disrespect. I've worked so damn hard. The shit that Chael said, I hate the guy. I held on to that choke. I was trying to break his neck, and I had the choke over his chin. I was still squeezing the shit in him. I wanted to break his chin. I wanted to break his neck. This had nothing to do with fix at all. I was getting paid the same amount of money no matter what. At the end of the day, when I step in that cage, I'm there to fight for my name. It's not about money. It's not about who's going to win or lose. It's about me winning. That's all that mattered. And why would they set up Chael to lose if he signed a fight deal? It just doesn't make any sense. And for someone to say that I tapped, people need to watch that what position of my hands were at. And I was fighting the hands. That's what I'm trying to do, fighting the hands. And I don't know. It's nonsense. I haven't really responded to anybody on the internet because I've seen it. You're the first person that I've responded to because we're able to talk about it and to get my words out of text and through Twitter or through a tweet. So that's just ridiculous. That's disrespecting my career, disrespecting my legacy, and the hard work I put in, the sacrifice I had away from my children and my family. And Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, I've sacrificed so much for this fight. People see me in the best shape that I was. That's the best shape I've been in since 2006. I was shredded. I cut down from 225 down to 204.8 within 2.5 days. There's nothing fixed about anything at all. I dislike Chael. I still dislike Chael because he had an opportunity to apologize. He didn't apologize. Because he talked personal stuff about me. Guy's an asshole. He's always going to be an asshole.
Yeah, well, it's good that you've addressed it to all the fans, and now that they're listening, I guess they could make up their mind and understand what really happened. Let's talk about this momentum that you're on. I mean, you're the man of the hour. Everybody is talking Tito Ortiz. The performance was amazing. Was it difficult for you to sort of retire on that moment? I mean, a lot of people were saying, hey, there's some fire in Tito coming back and fighting a few of these other guys that have just joined up to the company, guys like Vanderlei and these other guys. Was it difficult to walk away on such a high note?
Not really, just because of how many surgeries I've had. You understand? I mean, right now that my left arm is going in and out from being numb and not numb, that scares me. You know, I don't want to risk a chance of me going paralyzed for more fights. 20 years, I've done everything I wanted to do in MMA. It's not hard because I push myself to the maximum. I've done as much as I possibly can do with my body, and my body can't do any more. I'm able to not spar anymore, which is great. I'm really, really happy. I don't want to get punched in the face anyways. You know, I'm able to not be away from my family for such a long time where, you know, yes, I'm still at home during training, but when I miss out on their school projects or miss out on giving them a kiss before bedtime or things like that because I'm training, that's what I don't want to miss out on. When my son sits on my lap after hard training, goes, Dad, I miss you. And I'm still in the same house. I'm still under the same roof, but they just got to sleep earlier because my training hours are totally different. I'm not going to miss it. No, I'm not going to miss it. I'm okay with it. 20 years is like, what else do I have to give? You know, I could go into something bigger and better now. You know, still stay in shape, but, you know, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do or what I'm going to do, but there's just so many avenues for me to do that I'm going to take about a month off and enjoy some fishing, enjoy my family, and just go back to the drawing board and find something that I love to do, something that I'm in love with, something that not that I have to do, but something that I love to do. I think that's what makes jobs easier. It makes someone's career easier, just doing something I love to do.
Obviously, a huge reaction and a lot of people saying thank you on social media to you, a lot of fighters, a lot of peers, you know, showing their respect and thank you, not just for this fight, but obviously the way you paved the way and being a pioneer in the sport. One of the interesting things that came out is that apparently Dana White, there was a text, and as I understand, it wasn't to you directly, but it was to your beautiful girlfriend, Amber Nicole Miller. Talk to us about what exactly that text was and sort of what that relationship meant to, you know, you throughout your career with Dana White.
You know, at the end of the day, me and Dana, we were really good friends. You know, we had our differences, we had our dislikes towards each other just for business reasons. And I got a little personal a couple of times. I made a few mistakes because there was another person who was involved in some of the decisions that I probably shouldn't have made. A la the Dana shirt.
Yeah.
The text itself was saying that was a great job. That's the way he should have gone out on top. And that was the text that he got, Amber got from him, which was it was cool. You know, I think it was yesterday I reached out to him. You know, I reached out and said, thank you for the text. I had to get a response, so maybe he's still mad at me.
Can I just ask, because one thing that I'm curious about is why didn't he text you? Why is he texting Amber and not you directly? I'm sure he has your number.
Yeah, I don't know, because that's the second time that's happened. The first time that happened was when I signed with Bellator, and he sent me focus mates with his face on it, and he says, this is not going to challenge you, nothing will. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just I mean, Dana likes to hold the cards in his hand always, and I'm cool with it. It is what it is. You know, let bygones be bygones. I'm moving on with my life. You know, I was in a bad place when me and him were disliked each other. Now I'm in a totally different place in my life. I'm a little older. I'm a little wiser, and just making smarter decisions for my career. And you know, at the end of the day, hey, let bygones be bygones. I'm cool with Dana. I have no problem with him. He was just trying to run his business, and he ran his business great. They're worth $4 billion now, so he did his job. I did my job for the last 20 years for the fans that support me, and I'm very thankful for that. And I had the opportunity through Lorenzo and Frank and Dana from the UFC, and of course Scott Coker gave me a meeting job with Kevin Kay from Spike, who's been the biggest person behind the whole MMA deal of making the Ultimate Fighter possible and so forth. But, you know, those guys at Spike, I'm very thankful that they gave me the opportunity that I had to finish my career the way I think I deserve to be respected. I think my fans deserve it more than me, actually.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, a lot of people looking at this as a situation where there's a rare retirement from a legend on top. We also what happened to BJ Penn last week. I think a lot of fans hurt when they see their favorite sort of go through turmoil and then just sort of disappear. So I think a lot of people celebrating that.
BJ's going to fight again. BJ's not done. He's fighting again.
Yeah, I mean,
he's fighting again. He made a mistake, and the guy he fought was an animal. The guy's 24 years old, and that's one thing that us fighters, we're stubborn. We're willing to fight anybody, anytime. We don't think about matchmaking. We think about just fighting. That's it. And I think BJ, after taking 3 years off, he should have fought somebody who was, I'm not saying a lower rank, but somebody who had a bigger name and someone who he actually kind of get a warm-up fight. We can't fight top of our game after taking 3 years off. There's no way. I mean, look at Chael. You see what Chael and Chael. You're not going to fight someone in the top tier after taking 3 years off. I mean, Chael was like a joke. I mean, that was easy. That was like all white belt stuff that I did to him, and it was really, really simple to choke him.
Yeah. What did you think about the news that came out today about him competing against Gary Tonin at the next Submission Underground 3?
Well, I hope it's at 200 pounds. I mean, Chael's a small guy. Chael's weak. He's not strong at all. He felt soft when I got hold of him. I knew I had that choke. That's why he was going to go out. He was going to go out or he was going to tap. Because once I got onto him, it was done. I'm too big, man. I'm too big, too strong for these 205-pounders. That's been my weight class in my career, But Chael got to make his money, got to pay his bills. My bills have been paid for a long time, so I'm cool with it.
Just finally on Chael, I mean, it looked like Bellator really put a lot of effort and money and future plans into Chael coming into the company and sort of being a draw for them. A lot of people feel like you sort of walked away with most of the momentum there, and a lot of fans lost a lot of the interest in seeing Chael fighting, as much interest as they had before. What do you think of Bellator's future with Sonnen and what they can get out of him now that this fight has sort of happened?
Oh, look at a lot of them. I mean, the guy's willing to step into the fight. He wants to fight. Him and Wanderlei Silva, that's an amazing match. He said he'll fight Rampage. He said he'll fight, Theodore. I mean, if he can keep getting in the mat time, that's what it is, getting in the mat time. He can't take 3 years off and compete against guys at my level. No way. No, and I said that from the very, very beginning. I mean, I had a lot of guys make a lot of money on my fight, which I was very lucky. And I still think he'll give some great fights for Bellator. Bellator, they just not really put all their eggs in one basket with Chael, but they gave me the respect I needed. And Chael called me out. He's when guys call me out, they don't win. So it's Chael still has a future. He still has a good future. I mean, I think you just got to keep putting in the work. This job is something you can't do half-ass. You got to do both feet in and both feet out. There's no 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and expect to win. And that's why like I say, 14 weeks I put for this camp. 14 weeks, six days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I train 3 times a day. Tuesday, Thursdays, I train 4 times a day. And Saturdays, I train twice for 14 weeks.
Wow.
I put everything I possibly could. There was not one rock unturned through my whole time. I fought at guillotines, I fought at triangles, I fought at Chimeras, I fought on anacondas. I mean, there was so much that I fought out of during camp. Double leg, single leg, high crotches, snap downs. I mean, so many different things that I fought out of. So I was prepared for this fight. And that's why I think the fight was so easy, because I don't want to say over-prepared, but I was ready for anything that he had to offer me. I knew I had him on his feet. I know I'll punch him. And when I hit him with the right hand, he said that dazed me. And I barely even touched him. I went for a kick, and I threw a right hand and barely touched him. And I wish I was able to get combinations off him, but I hit him and I kicked him, and then it seemed like he did his front leg wide open. So I was like, double leg or a single leg dump. And then it became a little scramble in the same position where we worked to defend the chokes. And I ended up in half guard where we did all camp. And all of a sudden I just smashed his face down with my right shoulder, pushed the knee down, got him out. I threw one elbow, one punch, and the other elbow that hit him a little bit. And then he gave his back, his palm hit the mat, and I went for a rear naked choke, and I squeezed like it was my last breath. I squeezed so hard. Believe me, I could have sat there for 5 minutes and kept that squeeze until he was unconscious.
It's inspiring hear you talk this way, Tito, because you don't sound like a guy who just retired. You sound like a guy who is having, a career resurgence. So selfishly, it's a shame to see you retiring now, especially on such a high. But obviously, we're tremendously happy for you. I think now that it's all said and done, now that your career, has finally come to an end, it's probably no better time to sort of look back and what would you say? You've had such a long career, such a storied career. What would you say your favorite moments are when you look back on everything? I'm sure there's so many things to look at.
I give you my top five. I mean, I would say my very first fighting against Wes Albert and being a little kid who was scared as hell just to don't make a mistake, and it's over in 25 seconds. And then fighting Vanderlei Silva for the vacant world title and being afraid of Vanderlei Silva because he was the axe murderer and this guy was just knocking wrestlers out one after another. And I beat him in a decision. Fighting Frank Shamrock and losing to him and learning what a heart rate monitor was truly about and learning what a true athlete should do during fight camp. Ryan Bader, being a 6-1 underdog and almost knocking him out and then finally getting a guillotine choke and choking him unconscious. God, I could have to do more than that, more than five because, after I fought Vito Belfort. There was another one. I got my nose broken in the first round and I finished in a decision against a person who was a former champion. And then, of course, this last one where I dominated against someone that was a 2-1 underdog against someone who was supposed to out-wrestle me. Someone was going to throw me around and punch me in my face and ground and pound me and embarrass me. He embarrassed me 18 years ago, and I got an opportunity to redeem myself, and I did. And it was everything in this world happens for a reason. People gotta understand that. And I worked really, really hard through my whole career, and I did it with integrity. I did it with respect. Did it by inspiring others, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. In 20 years, I can look back, and I'm thankful for everything that I have. I'm able to give my children everything I never had as a kid. Everything. So it's really, really amazing. I'm thankful. And you say that I talk like a regenerated fighter. The only reason I talk like this is because I never had taken much brain damage from fighting in general. I had probably about maybe 25 concussions, but this is one of the reasons why I am getting out because I don't want to be that guy who's punch drunk who can't put a sentence together. I refuse to be that person. I think just my next step in life is to do, some television stuff, maybe film some films. I don't know, just something that intrigues me and challenges me as a human being on this planet. I've always given back, so we will see.
Yeah, and another great moment was when your son put your gloves down in the middle of that Bellator ring just the weekend. A quick couple of questions and we'll let you go. We saw that you got a hat from new President-elect Donald Trump, Make America Great Again. Just curious, have you had a chance to speak to him at all after your win? Have you had any communication with him or his office?
No, not yet. Well, actually with the son, just a little bit. He just congratulated me. He said, great job. I'm really, really proud of you, man. Great job. And I'm thankful, man. It's pretty cool. It's kind of surreal that, the day before, it's just everything seems like it happened for a reason. Everything happens in threes, I'm waiting for the Super Bowl to get over with. As soon as the Super Bowl, then it'll be happening in threes, and that's when the Patriots win. That'll be my third one because Trump winning was my first one. Me winning was my second one, and the Patriots will be winning my third. But, at the weigh-ins when I put on that Make America Great hat again, it just shows the respect and the support that I give towards Mr. Trump, our president. I believe in his dream of what he wants to do for our country, and he wants to be the best president alive. And this is my choice, my freedom of speech that I could do this thing. And I don't see myself as a politician. I don't see myself as a celebrity, but just a person who cares about his family and cares about his country and wants to do the best thing for it. And that's to spread the word of Mr. Trump of making America great again. And out the way, I put that hat on, and I took a picture and I sent it. I do it from the bottom of my heart. I don't care what people say. People say, oh, you're Mexican, you shouldn't do that. Well, I know a lot of Mexicans that support Mr. Trump, and lots of ethnic backgrounds that support Trump. People see what he's truly about, and I've been able to work with him. I've seen what type of person he is, and I respect him like no other.
Well, there he is, guys. I mean, what else is there to say? All we can really say, Tito, is thank you so much. Thank you for obviously giving us your time countless times. Thank you for an amazing career. I don't think the show is long enough to really pay proper tribute to you, but thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today, and congratulations on, not just the weekend, but a phenomenal career. Guys, don't forget to follow him, obviously, and as he continues the journey on Twitter at Tito Ortiz, and of course Instagram at Tito Ortiz 1999. Tito, thank you. And
I've been doing a lot of things on my Instagram live. I've been going live and answering a lot of questions. I think we had up to about 16,000 people the day before last, and people got questions they want to know. Just hop on my Instagram. That's Tito Ortiz 1999, and I'm usually on in the night times. It's therapy for me. I get to explain my side of a lot of things that people always want to know from me.
Beautiful. Well, Tito, we really appreciate the time. Thanks again, and congratulations on an amazing career. Enjoy retirement, and we can't wait to see what's next. Thank you again.
Awesome, man. Thank you, guys. Everybody in Australia, I appreciate your support. Thank you very, very much. Hope you guys enjoyed my career of 20 years as an MMA fighter. There will only be one, Tito Ortiz, that's for sure, and I think I did it the right way. Thank you guys so much.